Funny faces? Yeah, plenty of them. Funny haircuts? None worse than this. Angry spectators? And footballers with a difference. We've got it all. Football's funniest moments takes you into the grandstands. Out on the field, up close and personal. And into the archives as we look back on the weird and wacky.
Weird and wacky. Are you kidding? One of the superstars of the 70s in a retaliatory mode. The things you have to put up with when you are a genuine champion. I digress.
The ball under the wing position on the stand side. Oh, it's really tough up here. Look at this. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
To the call, Murphy was in there, but Francis Burke met Kekovich then and got one for his corner. All fair and square as Kekovich comes in now, picks up, hooks from the left foot, it's going goal. It's close. Kicking toward the centre of the ground, Barrett's there, so is Doug now. They jostle for position. Over the back comes Kekovich. He has the ball in front of him. Little Billy Brown's there. Kekovich just puts him aside and kicks down towards Doug. Barrett could be a goal.
Turns down forward once again. Here's a chance. Kekovich into the open goal.
Welcome to Footy's funniest moments. A smorgasbord of the unusual. A cavalcade of the inane and insane. Enough of me. Over to them.
Some things in footy never change. The sweet nothings in the ear, or the steely eyes of Lee Matthews peering down from the coach's box at the Gabba, but just occasionally a bit of fire from the lethal of old. You have to spare a thought for them. Have a look at Dennis Pagan trying to inspire Carlton, and have a look at Brendan Favola, away on another planet. Some like Grant Thomas could be more forthcoming.
You waited for the fellas in there at half time and took them in behind closed doors. Did you give them a blast?
No, I didn't. No.
Luke Ball, well, he was concussed. Do you think you've got use of him in the second half?
Yeah, Ballie's going to start now and see how he goes.
And he was cleaned up. Do you think St Kilda now have to get a little bit more physical, Tomo?
That'd be nice, yeah.
Yeah. Not in a real good mood, eh?
Not really, no.
Okay. Good luck in the second half, buddy.
Weather always plays its part. Now in Perth, when it rains, it buckets down. Poor old Sheed's doing his best to keep the powder dry. And as for our intrepid boundary commentators, well...
Yeah, if I hear one more person say, oh, but we need it.
Science and technology have come into the game in a big way. Just ask Mark Williams as he tries to fathom out the biggest fan at this Port Adelaide game. Or better still, just ask the medical team who went to work on St Kilda's Luke Ball. On the nose, if you ask me. And speaking of noses, what on earth was Nick Riewoldt doing? And what was in the paper cup? Enough to bring a tear to your eye. Let's cross to the grandstands, one of the more baffling events in recent Essendon history. It was Toothbrush Day, and everyone got into the act. All we were missing were the toothbrushes. Not that this little bloke would need one. We had fans full of hot air. Yep, plenty of those. And others who were just downright different. We'd love to know what this young Sydney supporter, and I use the supporter with a question mark, was doing wearing this ensemble to the game against the Eagles. But the showstopper that stopped them all came at this Collingwood match, when we witnessed this young fellow. Don't know what his racket is, but it looks mighty uncomfortable.
Sandy Roberts has had an eye for the quirky side of football for longer than I care to remember. These were just some of the classics.
So here we go, and sir, I know that you've waited a long time for the plays of the month. Here they are, but please try and contain your excitement. The best, or should it be worst, fumble of the month belongs to Hawthorn's Chris Whitman, who, while running in to mark a Gary Buckenara pass, fumbles and misses out on a certain goal. Now come on, Dermot, it's not that funny. The best disappearing act of May belongs to North Melbourne magician Jeff Chandler, with just a little bit of help from St Kilda's Rod Owen. Coming in a close second to Chandler was Geelong's Tim Darcy. The most surprised man during the month of May was Collingwood veteran David Cloke, who just couldn't believe his luck when the ball fell into his arms. As David said, you've just got to know how to read the play. Peter Wilson seemed to have trouble with his birds. No, Peter, Carl Langdon is an eagle, not a rooster. The month of May saw some great goals kicked. North's Derek Kickett managed to send one through from 75 metres. While Hawks' Chris Whitman was obviously impressed with the FA Cup final by soccering this one from 35. While the most unusual goal was scored by Bomber comedian Simon Madden, who adopted the theory, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Well done, Simon. But Madden wasn't the only one doing it on all fours. To the second best shirt front of the month, and the Diesel steamrolls the Big Dipper. And this is the best shirt front of May, and Eagle Jeff Miles lays Tiger Michael Pickering out to rest. Simon Eichhold exposed a certain weakness in David Murphy's game. To the mark of May, and Demon Stephen Stretch managed to drag in this screamer at the MCG. And look who's back. The Swan Tits doing their thing at the SCG. Dare I say it? Bigger and better than ever? No, I didn't say that. Oh, golly, it's enough to make you fall down and cry. Or is our Melbourne friend splitting his sides with laughter?
The plays of the month of July are proudly brought to you by the Commonwealth Job Improvement Scheme. Yes, it's never too late to start again.
So let's see what this budding, middle-aged cameraman has found for us this month. Ah, this is great. I've got the family into their wet weather gear now. I'll just sort myself out. Hang on. No, I don't think that's quite right. To the movie release of July, and veteran actor Harry Madden gives the performance of a lifetime in a tragic yet moving tale about the last of the dinosaurs, aptly titled Justinic Park. While over at Tigerland it was simply a case of last man standing. And standing, well, watching Joe Mercedes proves that he's no expert. Oh, this is unbelievable. How come they got into there so quickly? Stuff, do I know how this should go? To the low blow of July, and Collingwood's Tony Woods wasn't exactly laughing when Darren Steele's boot accidentally found its mark. Not that Peter Mann would have noticed, because he was too busy playing kick to kick with himself. And speaking of kicking, here's Jason Daniels with the accurate one, Don Scott.
Come on, declare it, Scotty.
Goal. Oh, it's out of bounds.
DFB. Oh, it wasn't a bad effort. There's the lady shaking her head. Oh, my golly. Could be even his mother.
And I wonder whose mother this is. Now, this is really starting to cheese me off. Maybe if I just make some sort of a hood. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you a bevy of buxom beauties. And you thought Dolly was big. Now one of the plays of the year. If ducking, balking, weaving, twisting and turning makes a player, this young man will be a champion. But I'm afraid that was the tackle of July. Oh, now what do I do with the rest of it? I may as well just chuck it, cut it off or do something. But tell you what, one thing's for sure, this is the last time I'm coming to the footy without an umbrella. And finally, a fitting way to wrap up July with a celebration. Oh, isn't life grand when everything's going your way? And on the subject of getting things right, don't tell me, at last I've done it. But hang on, where's everyone gone? Yes, well, here we go again with another medal-winning presentation of the plays of the month. And hopefully this will be more successful than the Teal Cup presentation. To a case of what goes around comes around, and Kevin Cheedy received a dose of his own medicine, jacket waving, courtesy of a delirious West Coast crowd. And while Sheeds was being besieged by flying flannel, young Lachlan Ross was doing his best to intimidate a rather nonplussed Fred Heady. To the most sensible supporter of July, and this chap only had to be asked once by Coach Barassi to calm it down, or risk a knuckle sandwich. Yeah, sorry guys, sorry. While this senior citizen was easily the most animated fan seen for many a month. Watch that ticker, me boy, watch that ticker. But at the other end of the scale, here is charisma at its finest. I wonder, has rigor mortis set in yet? Or maybe he was in shock after seeing Harry Madden KO fellow Blue Greg Williams. Poor old Harold. July just wasn't his month, and Damien Moncourse showed him no remorse. And as for grabbing the pigskin, well, maybe the less said about that, the better. But don't worry, Harry, you weren't the only one to have an attack of the fumbles, and you're a cult figure. But not this umpy, because he was down for the count, and judging by the look on him, in a world of his own. For all he knew, he might have been refereeing a soccer match. And that leads us to the goal of July. And the Super Swede, Kenneth Anderson. Yes, Kenneth Anderson scorched one into the back of the net. And didn't he let everyone know that he'd been given the all clear? And full points for this bullseye on the goal umpire. But no points for this potentially nasty incident between the SCG fence and Big Sav Rocker. A pretty rare sight to see a rat lose his pants, but it almost happened to Andrew Buse at the SCG. While over at Footy Park,
I bet you Sandy Roberts will be watching this. He'll grab that for Plays of the Month at absolute certainty.
You could write it now, couldn't you, Macca?
Yep.
Get the
I
top
can nearly write the script for him, I think.
too right, Pete, and I also grabbed this, a simple case of common thievery. Well, at least the Hawks' antics sparked a bit of life into our Blues fan, just a fraction, mind you. Gee, stirring up the mascot wasn't very nice. Gone the Blues. No, it wasn't, but at least it's made for an eventful Plays of the month of July. So here we go. Look, I'm sorry, Simon, if you think it's all a bit boring, but some people have been eagerly awaiting the Plays of June for a long time. The most hesitant person of June was this field umpire who just couldn't decide when to bounce, if indeed bounce, the ball. And what about this goal umpire who inadvertently awarded a goal to Carlton after the Eagles' David Hart clearly kicked the ball through? However, after discussions with Hart and the field umpire, he corrected his decision and awarded Carlton a behind. The best fresh air shot of June was executed by Tiger Trevor Poole, who just couldn't put boot to ball. To the second best mark of June, and Demon tough man Rod Grinter flies high over North Melbourne's Wayne Schwass. But the best mark of June was taken by Sydney's David Murphy at the SCG. And while Murphy was brilliant in the air, he was just as brilliant on the ground. Now, it's not exactly mud in your eye, but, Alan Izard, it's not far from it. But Mark Yates could still smile. Soccer became fashionable in June, as proved by Hawk Jamie Morrissey and the Bears' star goalkeeper Matthew Campbell. The unluckiest player of the month was St Kilda veteran Trevor Barker, who copped a mouthful, courtesy of John Georgiadis. And on the subject of boot in mouth, Justin Madden just missed out. The shirt front of June was narrowly avoided by John Platten as he applied the brakes just in time and watched as two bears collided. To the goal of the month, and the brilliant Gary Ablett tries hard to mark. The ball hits the ground, however, and Ablett bustles his way through the pack, gathers the ball, steadies and shoots from inside 50 metres. As I said at the time, what more can you say? And finally, to the most bizarre incident of June. Watch Richmond President Neville Crowe dressed in the beige overcoat. Yes, they're a very close bunch at Tigerland. As I said before, what more can you say? Next up for his routine between the vertical beams, his rookie umpire Anthony Black.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful balance. Oh, lovely routine.
Yes, hello and welcome to a very special collector's edition of the Plays of the months of July and August. Not only do we have twice the excitement and double the trouble selected from a possible 63 matches, but we've still only got the same 2.5 minutes to do it all in. So let's not waste another precious second watching Michael Martin vent his frustrations. Instead, we'll marvel at the aerial skills of Nicky Winmar and his fellow West Australian Craig Turley. Yes, while Dennis was away, the Muppets certainly did play.
No side likes to win that wooden spoon. I'm still pondering that myself.
And if Don sounded puzzled, well, how about Tim's weather report?
There's a blustery wind. I think it's favouring the left of screen, although I went out onto the ground at the end of the reserves game and it was blowing both ways.
The old circular wind from Tim. On the subject of wind, the Gale brothers blew into town. Michael stormed into the SCG fence, while Brendan's impersonation of someone having just one too many was first class. Say, what say after the game we go for a frolic in the hay? No, not on your Nelly. Sorry, Pete. We're only horsing round. But have you tried contact lenses? Seeing is believing, and that's just what the boys in blue decided to do when investigating just who would dress up like this. Now for the second routine of newcomer Anthony Black. You'll notice the degree of difficulty has increased significantly with the use of both hands, especially during the double reverse flag twirl. To complete the routine, Anthony shows us the triple diagonal flag filing dismount. Superb! Once again, Anthony has displayed a very polished performance. As was the performance of Darren Jarman, who amazingly decided to balk no one in particular, while Billy Brownless just hasn't quite perfected his own act. Nor has Jim Steins quite mastered the act of marking with his head. It must be a sign of the times when at Football Park they have to store their footballs in this unique locker. Now, if someone could lock that pesky crow in there. And so, with all the routines completed, the judges have given the all clear, and a very confident-looking Anthony Black must now await his score. A 9.95! He's scored himself a 9.95! What a sensational effort! And what a sensational effort all clubs and supporters have put in during a long and often hard season. Although one Tiger supporter wasn't too happy about his team's dismal performance against Adelaide. But that's yet another story, and it won't be told until the plays of season 1992.
Well, as they say in the classics, one man's pig is another man's bacon. Strange happenings indeed. Well, let's get straight down to business and find the truth behind the tale in 1993. Just when you thought it was safe to turn the telly back on, they're back. Plays of the month. And how pre-season footy has changed. The Dogs were coming out of the sky. The Hawks went bush to Puckapunyal, and we saw Jason Dunstall as never before. While the Crows are taking a more mechanical view of the 93 season. To the Foster's Cup action, and unfortunately, some just couldn't get going. The Lions and Tigers have provided some early season headaches, particularly Lambert and Armstrong. And on the subject of headaches, Michael Murphy could thank umpire Chris Mitchell for one. Tim McGrath had his own liberal view of the GST, a good strong tackle, while Marcus Seekamp laboured hard to upset the Bulldogs. As always, the Foster's Cup provided some great aerial work, and Mark Richardson's grab was a ripper, and Darren Jarman's gutsy mark a screamer. Not that brother Andrew would have noticed it, if you don't mind umpiring. Tim Watson has decided against a career directly in front of camera. He's returning to Windy Hill. One man who is not returning is former crooner and part-time bathtubber Peter McKenna. Unceremoniously dumped, his spot was snapped up. Who by? Well, his name was Bernie, and he drove the fastest bathtub in the West. Well, not quite.
All right. Oh, he's doing very well. Well, he's still there. Let's put it that way. Well, no, Bernie's gone in. This is turning into a... Well, McKenna wasn't that bad after all.
Peter McKenna, where are you? We need you back. I think I was worse than Peter McKenna. I'm sorry for everything I said.
I wonder if Peter McKenna would be interested in a comeback. That's for bathtubbing, by the way, not singing.
You know I like to smile all the while. Smile.
Lucky Peter McKenna could kick a football. Can't say much about his singing or paddling. He was one-dimensional at the very best. Now for something that always seems to stop the show. It's crunch time with these great hits from the past.
Looking for Turner, punched away by Greg, who follows on. Oh! Heavily met.
Goes for a pass up towards Jesselenko. Oh, gets flattened. He is out cold. Oh.
Well, Magro got him a beauty. That's not Timmerbush, it was Smith, and down he went like a bag of spuds. And the Magpies are really going in hard. He hasn't moved, Smith. Kick wasn't too good. Chance for Jester Market. Oh, he got one back from Wilson and collected him fair and square, too. That half-back goes for a pass. It's a good one. Oh, down he goes. And this young fella's played a great game. He copped a heavy one that time.
Hurd is the favourite. Runs straight into the wide position. A good hip and shoulder there by Sidebottom. Could easily have gotten a free kick. Andrews cops one too high.
Eagles giving it away.
Kickers up towards full forward. There's Van der Haar again. He's dropped that one, but he goes down there in defence. A long kick to half. He's grabbed it. Oh, he got a heavy one that time from Swab. Knocked him right out.
Oh, very solid bump. That's Cordy that went down like a sack of spuds. He hasn't moved.
Taken by Cameron. Oh, Yates met very solidly by Miles, and down he went.
The hurry kick from Denham. Oh, bang!
Oops, Francisca, you're in trouble. Down he goes. Watson, what a bump.
Lobbed that really high up towards centre wing. And a collision down there. Saunders.
Malcolm was making very indirect with that as centre-half forward. They go out towards the flanks almost every time. Osborne crashing into him was Miles.
Centering kick, Beasley at the back. Oh, he's got it again.
The field kicking, been terrible. Oh, Madden has unloaded. I think it's Doug Coote.
Now, here come the Tigers again. Here's the... Oh!
Waitman is unloaded by Neagle.
Finding space. This is a bit more like Subiaco Oval and what they know. A solid shepherd behind play. Speak to one of the West Coast Eagles players. Condon under no pressure whatsoever. Back to Di Domenico. Oh, he's bowled over by Williams.
Barwick and Rice. Barwick gets the hand pass away. Here's trouble.
They haven't cleared the area yet. It's on the 50 as Heady marks. And Coleman crashes him to the ground. Wanganeen, a beautiful little pass to Harvey. Courage by Harvey. And he's cleaned up by Martin.
It's a really good mark, that. Oh, so was that a courageous mark. They need someone to take a mark. Oh, was that a free kick? He had to show some courage, and he might be hurt.
As long as he kicks the ball, doesn't get too much distance. Oh, Leslie sandwiched and is out.
Handball over the top. May have been a bad option. Oh, Lindner, why didn't he get a free kick for that?
Mansfield towards half forward once again. Couch crunched.
Kicks out. Ooh! Bingham, oh, look at him racing like a 2-year-old. Still going, Bingham. Oh, bumped off the ball.
Oh, there's a clash of heads.
Runs into Wanganeen. Bang!
Punches it away. Francis and Russell. Oh! They're both out cold.
The kick is very disappointing. Credial. Solid body work.
Short again. Oh! What a mark!
Bangs it out wide. Ruse has hit the shoulder. Puts Rouvray down. Salmon. Oh, crunched. Oh, crunch.
So the start here is vital. Carlton go forward out of the middle. Oh, a collision. Oh, and McKenna is down. Jakovic the hand pass. Scott got in there for the tackle. Hannah recovers. Dean crunched down by Swass.
Have a look again. Gee whiz, it was a solid bump, wasn't it? As O'Donnell spun to follow the ball. Turner wiped him out.
Inboard now, Chandler, first touch straight off. Rashuko has hit him with a steam train.
Got sensibly, Sockers off the ground. Wurzbold leads in this race.
Miranda has Nate. He threads it through. He only go over the top. But he is steamrolled. He is poleaxed.
All Sydney, Doreen, Miranda, the only man there, and he played it superbly. Miranda comes away. Doreen is down hurt.
He gets it down, approaching. Oh, Richardson! That bump was by Voss.
On hands and knees. Gives it across to Cousins. The kick. Bang! Down he goes from Rashuto.
Cousins, a probing kick. Sanderson should mark. Look out! Oh, McIntosh got him. That was always on. Hooks it down towards full forward. In front, Bullis met very solidly. Down he went.
Bullis will hit for the boundary line. Actually keeps it in. Oh, he was hit very, very hard. The meat and the sandwich. He's out to it, I think. Paul Bullis. Hurd in front, Young behind. Hurd stays in the contest very well. Met very heavily, but fairly.
To make a little ground. Did so towards centre wing. Lenny Hayes tries to keep it. Down goes Lenny Hayes.
Help from Crummell. Off the ground he goes. Oh, Byron Pickett, he loves that.
Hooks it back, not bad. Smith looks up. Courage. Free kick to Smith.
Silvani kept on going.
Whoa!
Oh, Milburn has collected another one.
There was a fair run on Panadol for those lads. Most of them distinguished members of the community these days. Like my good self. Let's head back to the archives.
So let's begin with the Madden brothers as Justin gives Simon an armchair ride. Melbourne's Brian Wilson proved once again just how versatile he can be with this award-winning acting performance. While teammate Steve O'Dwyer's new method of contesting ruck duels still leaves a little to be desired. To the best tackle of July, and Geelong Terrier Andrew Buse grabs Lion Graham Osborne in a bear-like hug that would do Hulk Hogan proud. Not to mention this Rick Kennedy coat hanger, perfectly executed on Magpie Craig Kelly. Hawthorn's Peter Schwab obviously didn't take too kindly to the treatment he received from Tiger Tony Free.
And spare a thought for this Sydney trainer because he just couldn't outrun the bouncing ball. Somehow I get the feeling that David Murphy was just a little frustrated. To the freakish goal of July, and St Kilda's Mick Dwyer gathers the ball deep in the forward line and under enormous pressure from North's Alistair Clarkson, kicks from right on the boundary line and scores a near impossible goal. And then there was the saga of Long and his shorts. July saw the VFL once again experiment with a controversial 3-goal umpire system. Carlton's Steve DeRuy was the tough man of July, firstly by shirt-fronting bomber Terry Danaher, and secondly by laying demon skipper Greg Healy out to rest. To the high flyers of July, and Jeff Aiken leap for miles proved that he can soar like an eagle. July's second best mark was taken by Geelong high flyer Bruce Lidner over a hapless Graham Osborne. But the best mark of July was taken by Fitzroy champion Alistair Lynch, who soared high over the pack at the MCG. St Kilda wizard Nicky Winmar was the most considerate player of July. Here he offers veteran Simon Madden a chance to rest his ageing legs. But I don't need to rest, says Simon. However, Winmar was determined to offer Madden a seat on the ground. But as usual, the bomber comedian has the last laugh, this time by kissing the wizard smack on the lips. Simon, I wonder what Mary'd think of that. And on the subject of kissing, Murray Romance Rance and Dermot Brereton obviously have more in common than just sharing the same Guernsey number. I wonder if Adrian Barrich is jealous. Ah, what a month it was. And of course, all that action coming your way on 7 Sport. Yeah, come in. Plays of the month. Yes, come on, we'll do them now.
I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. So I moseyed on down to the Moorabbin room, Sandy. I was knocking on heaven's door.
Jared, in the words of Don Scott, you're unbelievable. And what about the spectators' reaction? You know the old saying, Jared, don't give up your day job. Mind you, strange things do happen in football. What about when Kevin Sheedy resorted to sending smoke signals to his players at Wendy Hill? And talk about modern day football, some coaches don't even mind if their taggers take to the field in their street clothes. Not that this young couple would have noticed what was going on out on the ground anyway. Which is a shame they didn't, because they would have witnessed Brett Allison flying high over Gavin Krosiska to take one of the all-time grabs. And what about this little conversation in Perth? What's that I've kicked now, Michael? I think it's 13. Gee, it's going to be a long trip back to Melbourne, Peter. Yes, I hope you're not the in-flight comedian. Darren Baxter had his problems during the last month. Now, first of all, we'll have to move that chair. Golly, I think I've hit the umbrella too. While Carlton's Luke O'Sullivan was a little less tactful towards this stills photographer. Supporter of the month goes to this gentleman at the SCG. We don't know who it is you're barracking for, sir, but we admire your enthusiasm and your kicking style. To the surprise goal of June, and Peter Foster kicking from 50 metres clearly misses to the left. Don't look too depressed, Pete. The goal umpire thinks it's a goal. And Anthony Danaher cannot believe it. Ah, yes, an umpire's life isn't easy. A ball up. Oh, well, on second thoughts, maybe a throw-in would be better. As Brett Stevens asks, is that out on the full? Now, remember, folks, you cannot run through a point post unless, of course, you're Neil Cordy. The Collingwood Cheer Squad were the innovators of June with their automatic self-collapsing banner. It saves the players just a little bit of energy. It's no secret the Eagles are doing well this year. I wonder if they'll paint the town and not their faces come September. Winter finally arrived in Melbourne, much to the disgust of Tony Liberatore. Hey guys, where are you? Poor old Libber. What a month. I've heard of smacking the bottom, but hang on, Tony, you're a Brownlow medalist. And finally, a message to all the mothers who follow our game. With winter well upon us, let's rug up. Dress your little ones accordingly, as it does get very cold at the football. Obviously, Mrs. Cometti has taken note and dressed her son accordingly. And look who wants the last word. Unbelievable. What a hectic start to the season we've seen. So let's get straight into things. Yes, Justin, it's music to your ear. However, with the addition of new soprano Wayne Wiedemann, it may well become music to your ear. To horseplay of another kind, both Ken Hinkley and Mark Arsieri have discovered new ways to handle the ball. Darren Flanagan's hand pass between Chris Grant's legs was innovative, as was Doug Hawkins' attempt at a boundary throw-in. Now come on, Brett, you don't expect James Manson to fall for that old trick, do you? Of course not. James is far too intelligent to be caught out like that. Oh, James, you give the boy a rap and look what happens. Hawk Jason Dunstall provided the best imitation of a bowling ball when he skittled over the goal umpire at the MCG. Now, Jason, should that be scored as a point, a spare, or maybe even a strike? The much maligned men in white have had a torrid beginning to the season. They've been harassed, they've been bumped, tripped and sandwiched. I can't see why so many supporters give them such a hard time. Now, hang on. Is it left over right or right over left? I wonder if we could use Velcro. Now, careful, fellas, you're on national television here. So how does that old saying go? More than two shakes is a pulling down of screamers is a very special part of Aussie rules. And already in season 92, many great grabs have been taken. Bruce Lidner was on the wrong end of a Gary Lyon bump, while up at Carrara, Martin Leslie was the bear in a blue sandwich. And what about Johnny the Rat Platt, who tried to burrow his way under the MCG fence? At least Gary Ablett had the right idea. He wanted the crowd at Subiaco to join him in his 150th game celebrations. Big Saint Tony Lockett tried to test his strength against the Moorabbin point post. I think Tony won, while Alan Jakovich obviously decided that opponent Gary Pert had had too much to drink. And does this give new meaning to the word tagged? I wonder if this was Lazar Vidovic's first interstate trip. And now to finish, something totally different from our own Tim, or should that be Kim, Watson.
Well, footy fans have had an absolute feast this past August. Feasting on what? I'm not quite sure. But anyway, in the tradition of quality Australian television, the plays of August feature an all-star cast.
I get too hungry for dinner at 8. How's that?
Well, when the clock struck 8, the Pies and the Bombers came out to play, and Watson's bump on salmon typified the intensity of the game. But that was nothing compared to the drama surrounding the goal lumpy. In front of 86,000 fans, he too was caught up in the heat of the battle. Well, hardly a battle, more an audition. To a battle of another kind, this time against Mother Nature at a cold and wet Western Oval. With a little bit more of a breeze, Mary Poppins would have been cleared for takeoff. And take off, well, that's exactly what Mark Rasciuto did, this being the mark of August. While in the Little League, now just kneel down and let me go for the big fly. To the punch of August, and Sean Wren's centre bounce thump was worthy of a kick. And now the best imitation of a dog. And Richard Osborne seems to have settled in well at the kennel. And speaking of dogs...
Oh, Croft, if he can... the ball's behind him. He kicks it goal and hits the post. Oh, dear. That will be in plays of the month. You can back that in.
And you can back this in as a contender for Goal of the Year.
Craig Bradley with the run of it. The crowd rising as one. McKay, back to Bradley. What a goal this would be. Banana kick by Bradley. Oh! Just touched, I think. A goal! What a goal by Bradley!
And just 1 week later, Craig Bradley and Diesel Williams became the latest members of the 200 Club. Perhaps not in the fashion they would have liked. Well, by now, word of Bernie's singing was starting to spread. The crowd was building. They were fighting for seats. Even the coaches were screaming for an encore. So, here's Bernie.
That's why the lady is a tramp.
Ah, great, Bernie, but sadly you were just about upstage.
And I'll tell you what, if I spit the nothing.
What was that all about? Just a little short one.
Oh! And Schultz tried to pull the towel away.
All right, the Swans gathering for the last quarter. Kappa gathering his gear. Thank you very much. Spalding. He goes for the bounce.
West Coast charging away as goal umpire Barrich gives the all clear.
Well, close to the boundary line. A couple of those Collingwood players certainly went hard at the ball.
Ralph Smith back with the fight, ran into his teammate Harvey.
Kicks it into that far side. Oh, what a mark! Dale Lewis.
Another opportunity. Simpson's long kick. Kick it!
Oh, what a mark!
Actually, I was wondering when I was going to get a look in. Now I know how the Crows' hierarchy felt at VFL Park. Mind you, I don't think I would have done that to the coach's box window. Yes, James, what you're holding is called a football. And the idea is to kick it. Oh, James, I said kick it. Perhaps, James, you could take a lesson from Sydney's Jason Love, because after all, he kicked one of July's great goals. Last month saw Carlton coach David Parkin embark on his new youth policy, obviously with the year 2000 in mind. Could this be the league's first 700-gamer? And the Cardinia Park Cat has been hard at it in recent weeks. Admittedly, he did cop a left jab down at Moorabbin, but what about the backhand reply? No, my friend, you are guilty and must be punished. I wonder if we'll be seeing you next month.
This time the men in white getting into the act, including this great performance by Steve Stevens in his final game.
And it comes here to Wallace. Wallace left footed at goal. And it's through. Oh, the goal player whacked very solidly there.
Oh, fancy doing that to an umpire.
I'll tell you what, too, it's Steve Stevens, who has been a goal umpire for 20 years, and this is his final appearance in league football. He's 50 years of age. This is his final appearance. And I'll tell you what, he's a pretty sick fella. And he's going on with the job before he gets attention.
Up, ball flying from behind. Cook couldn't mark it. Down it came. Bedford snaps it up. He's about 30 yards out.
He's sleepy in the eye.
He's right in the head.
There's a sensation, though. Who will win next week? Only time will tell. Dead level. Next week we play off. Mounted troopers are in there also. I don't know what's happened. It appears the umpire coach doesn't look too well to me. I didn't see what happened. We're just talking about the result of the match. Umpire coach, I don't know what has happened, but a rather sensational finish to a rather sensational game.
For Harrell, can he pick it up? He's got it, a running shot for goal. He knocked the goal umpire down.
Knocked him goal. Moore's kick is just about smothered. On towards Glendenning. Flicks out the hand pass to Schimmelbusch. He'll have to kick it soon. The siren's just about due to go. Off target. And the goal umpire's down and lost his hat. But he's good enough to give it as one behind. Tit for tat.
We've had Essendon put down to just 18 players now. And the umpire's gone down. The umpire is down.
Goodness me.
Well, they're going to have to do something about this very quickly. The second umpire, Clayton, is at the moment trying to get some form of law and order established.
Gee, they're playing with adrenaline now. The short...
The umpire, he's down.
The umpire got in the way when Bays was going to take the mark.
Bays is hurt too.
And Gaffer loses it. Henwood over the top.
Brennan with Ablett on the mark. Brennan brings it towards half-court. The umpire's fallen over. On with the game they go.
Lee Matthews swinging the changes, but they've had no effect so far. Steins finally gets boot the ball. How he did so, I don't know. Mark spilt by McGuan. Now the umpire's gone down as well, so it will be a bounce. He doesn't look too good.
And he wouldn't be used to that, the umpire.
Brian Wilson giving him mouth-to-mouth. Interesting thought. I think it's Ross Castles, isn't it?
Certainly is.
Let's see what happened. Who hit him? Tony Shaw.
Two players. Wilson and Shaw.
Set up beautifully.
Well, probably they won't be getting Brownlow votes.
I don't think they practice those sort of things at training either, the umpires. I don't think they expect to be clobbered by big bruising footballers.
Big pack of players down there. Wren got two hands to it. Craig Turley has speed at the back. Will go close to a score. Oh, gee, hit the post and the goal umpire. Well done, sir.
Now it's Collins. What can the little fella do? Just waiting on the umpire. Touch. What magnificent play by Andy Collins.
Lewis in late. Could be against Lewis, I'd say, for that indiscretion.
In the thick of things, comes up, certainly holding on.
I'm not too happy with Chris Lewis for diving in late there. Oops.
The umpire's gone. Umpire Harris is down. Lamb crashed into him.
Gowers takes the ball and kicks it in towards the centre. And a mark is taken by Paul Deere.
It's a whistle, and it's going to be a free kick to Lewis out there.
Gee, that was terrific play by McGovern, half back.
The umpire goes down.
Could have been edged out. It's going to be another goal. Stephen Clark gets in the action.
Tapped by Cavidan, Dundas, Brown. Boundary umpire taking a body blow, picking himself up.
But Armstrong gone out of it, so Nathan Burke
And he just lost his man O'Reilly there.
Oh, Barnes collided with the umpire, and he's seeing stars.
He doesn't quite get onto it, but it lobs up. Oh, not quite a mark. Is that too high? Yes. Collinwood against Pike. A free kick to Collinwood from 20 metres, and Pike is incensed about the decision, and he's been pushed away by his teammate Paxman.
Wanganeen was reported for striking the Tigers' Ashley Prescott, then made contact with field umpire Michael Avon.
It's okay. Barnes has got it. He's a long kick, but not that time. Oh, blocked by the umpire.
Too many umpires.
Gale.
Barnes being flattened.
Well, Wayne Swash clearly didn't like that decision.
Lynch, cleverly done. Releases Hocking. Hocking a probing kick. Down goes the umpire. The mark has been held down there by Tawney, and the umpire is slow to get up. That's Gavin Dorr. He was hit pretty solidly.
They need David Schwartz. Oh, the umpire. The umpire. He was going to take a mark, I reckon, Schwartz. Well, Schwartz crashed into Brian Sheen.
That'll be one argument against the third umpire, I would think, where they're getting in the way.
That's right. First one way, then the other. Look out, umpire! And he's down and he's out, that umpire.
Well, he got in the way of Mark Neal. They always hurt the umpire.
He is out. Where am I? What game am I at?
I think Mark Neal could have taken that mark too. But he's all right.
It is an extra dimension there. Now with three of them out there, I mean, they're always going to end up getting in front of that hole.
Staggering,
full forward and centre half forward position. So that's about the third or fourth one this year that's been bowled over. There will be more.
To Shaw, to Francis. Goes for goal with a high one. Good kick, great kick. It's a goal. Not touch the umpire. Umpire's hurt himself.
He's flattened him. Rocker ran into him, I think.
Gee, I'd like to see a replay. I thought that was over the line.
It did look that way, didn't it?
Into the path of King. King's kick is good. Set half forward, great effort. The umpire's in strife here. He's been down. Stuart Anderson ran into him, and the umpires aren't built for physical contact. Particularly when they don't see the player coming and they ran into him.
Chips the line, fantastic. Centering kick. It's a dangerous kick for the Bulldogs. The race is on. Sean Wren and Luke Darcy.
It's a square up from Kieran Nichols.
Now, this is well off the ball. What's happened there, Jerry?
Well, I didn't see what it was, but Todd Curley is absolutely baffled.
Lachlan. Oh, the umpire got in the road and didn't play a free kick, which is good. Collingwood fans wanted one. Well, the Eagles in front, and they haven't won. They haven't won too many quarters. The umpire's down again.
So after Mark Thompson appeared to be...
the umpire!
Oh, the umpire's in the way again. And hopefully sanity will prevail.
Young Robbins copped a headbutt from the umpire.
Well, that just showed the ludicrous nature of this rule, and Todd Curley will know all about that.
Look at this. Look at this.
Gaspar doing the ruck work. Phoebe seen a lot of the footy in this quarter. Uze one-on-one with Rowan Jones.
Couldn't happen to a nicer bunch of blokes. These are footy's funniest moments. I reckon you're catching the drift. Biffs, bumps and brawlers. You don't see much of that on the field anymore. So here's a selection of the best from the past.
A great job there. Down goes Walls. The centre. Cullen desperately fell by 13 points.
Win the game on his own in the third quarter. There's Scott doing a tremendous job on the ruck. Look at him go through.
Short lead out here by Bartlett, and Bartlett takes a mark and the free kick.
Coming over to Goss. In trouble. He's grabbed. Set over beautifully to Collins, and Collins is clear. Oh, he's got one on the face. Look at a free kick.
Oh, it's beautifully smothered there by Elliott. And there's Clayton.
Lachlan's going back pretty confidently. Oh, God, he stood on that fella's head that time. Davis's head. Oh, well, Davis gave him one.
Knocked down by Picken. Magro, but steamrolled by Durnan. Oh, goodness me. Oh, down goes Andrew Arlen. He got a beauty. Oh, Collingwood player got on out.
Up to right half forward. Knocked away from Cloak. Not too far by Andrews. Oh, a solid bump there with Welsh, and they both went down. They're both out to it.
Copping's against two here. Let's see what he can do. Over the back is Everett. Everett, oh boy, down behind the play went Darryl Cox, and Steve Copping, you're in big trouble.
Short pass from DP Domenico out towards centre wing. It's not a particularly good one. Polkinghorn. Oh, heavy clash there. Wallace has been booked. Watson chips it back to Merritt, who kicked the last goal. Got one for his corner.
Wallace taps it on cleverly to Buckenara. He's got Dippy running. Oh!
In front, Bandit. Knocked away by Landy. Oh, Edmonds knocked Egan right out. Gets underneath the ball a little bit, so not a long kick. And good mark taken by Purser. Whoops.
And Brereton took the mark, but was it out of bounds or not?
Oh, he copped one in the mush too.
Out comes Ablett. Oh, good. That might have been a bit high, actually, from Burns.
Bounce now. Clark with Richmond getting the tap down. It's taken by Cracker, who got flattened. Play continues. Richmond about to go forward. Is Cracker on the turn?
Gapper goes in to try and make amends. Almost threw it back into play, and he copped one at the same time.
That's a better one to Cloak. Oh, Osborne fixed him up.
Puts the long kick down towards the square where Baker's there. Takes it right on the line.
In comes Bass, and Bass takes the ball. Oh, against Jimmy Buckley.
Ablett, Kevin Ablett that is, coming through. Bursts his way through, puts it forward. Finds Morris. Thought about the hand pass. Oh, copped one too high. He really copped one there.
Dacos may be able to get out of it. He's down. Just on the other side of the centre wing. Short kick is okay. Mark. Oh! 50 metres, is it?
Very late. Very late, and let's see what's going to happen here. Book job for sure. He was ridden into the ground. Oh! Thank you very much. He wasn't acting that time.
Bassett, a crude tackle. Meldrum, down he goes from an elbow. And Meldrum. Oh, poor play by Somerville. And the book is coming out.
If McLean can only pick the ball up, he can't. Good tackle, Pekin. Oh, St Kilda player got taken high. I think it might be Harvey.
And good backup support from Yates, who gets taken out. Perfect hip and shoulder. Great footy.
Yes, the umpire's in good position.
Unbelievable.
Jenky thumps it away, Lawrence. Oh, gee, with the elbow.
Excuse me.
Let's it stay in play. Doolan. Oh, flattened as he kicked it, as Kelly ran straight at him. And it's a free kick relayed down the ground. There's a bit of a wrestle going on behind the play.
Down goes Pike, and I didn't see what happened there. Already picked up a couple of marks. McKenna, Harding. Oh, watch out. Straight up in the air to half forward. Oh, well done. Terrific stuff there by Clarkson.
But the bounce went to Simons. The tackling's been superb. Oh, there's a hard tackle.
Little too severe for Edwards. Liptak gets it back. Was that tackle high?
Kicked away by Lamb. Oh, he copped one high. This will be a free kick to Lamb, I would think.
Again, trying to push the ball up into this quite a strong breeze, but not far enough for man. Vardy from behind.
Oh, good
Graham strong. Oh, he's been with a player. Legitimately.
Kicks up looking for Kernham. Bang, crash. It's given away the free.
Oh, goodness me, Scott Burns. That's Stewie Lowe.
And he to Jackson. Interception down there was by White. But Jackson and White collided. Then
He's over the Matthews again, but he's in trouble. He's down.
After Collins, who's tackled straight away and pops one right in the face for his trouble.
got a good position to go through. A great piece of play by Van der Haar as he got out of that one. And too high again.
After now is Pickens. Muzzled the ball beautifully, that guy. Oh, he's got one right around the neck. Certainly scoots around for free side.
Max Richardson. Too long for Brereton, in fact. Brereton, clever knock on. Here's a Josh Schwab. Two of them flattened. And there's a number being taken. English is gone.
Up towards Jackson and Langford. Jacko over the back. Copped one right in the face.
To Bauer. There's another one now. Oh, dear. It doesn't stop Leon Harris.
Coming across to meet it now is James and Cloak, but James has got it. But he copped one from Cloak.
Did he what?
This is Hawke. Hawke was taken around the head. Spalding over the top of Danaher. Madden does well. The hand pass makes it difficult for Williams.
How can that go past the umpire?
Ethan couldn't mark. He's got back up support. Oh, free kick Hocking. Caught very, very high. So Mainwaring, free kick Mainwaring. A very crude tackle by Kelly.
Now Brown goes very short and gets Martin just takes his head off. Oh, they won't like this.
Mercury and McKay, the latter slips over. Oh, Buick cops a ripper.
A lovely long kick. It will be marked. No, it's interference anyway, is it? Yes, a free kick to Longmire against Perth.
Supposedly had the flu, couldn't talk on Friday. Well, he's talking tonight. Oh, 50 metres. Over the top to Ramiro, close to best on ground. Does a ball. Oh, he's been caught high.
The short kick. Gee, that's an indiscretion.
Good off the left. Oh, solid clash. Eagleton crunched down by Scott. Done some exciting things tonight. Milburn gives the ball back. Oh, Poole has put Colbert down.
Williams shrugs one. High tackle.
Hit by Freeborn. Buckley.
Oh, look out. Oh, look out.
And it's a free kick.
Really serve it up to them, but look at this. Oh, he's dropped the sitter, David Rees. Oh, he's copped one.
He got it.
Oh, Banksy, out comes the notebook.
Helped out by Phillips. Phillips' short pass. As Jenko can't mark, and bang, down goes a Melbourne player.
Lyon again.
And I can't believe that. Umpire was watching it. So was Steve O'Dwyer.
The umpire was about 2 feet in front of him.
Unbelievable. Boundary umpire wasn't far away. Peter Cameron's come in with the pencil.
He's almost marked by Mitchell on his back. Oh, this hand passes.
Oh, Greg Williams.
Out comes the book again for Greg Williams.
It's not going to be a goal. Taylor flying from behind, let one go, and it's on. Oh.
And Melbourne have been sucked in here in the early minutes, Pete.
Actually,
Certainly been
this is
sucked
stupid
in.
because I can see Geelong players taking their eye off the ball. Now, Flanagan, although he's not in that...
And he kicks at the Bays. But was it out?
Pretty crude effort by Kelly.
Yeah, I hope Bays is all right.
Nearly a chance. Chance there for Burke. He just looks a fraction slow. There's a report coming out of this.
Get a long kick to Kernahan. Kernahan on the attacking side of the centre takes a very good mark. Mark number 5. Gets a bit of a swipe, I think, from someone. I think he's going to be reported, Leslie. Leslie reported.
And the box on still continues. Murphy wanting to go on with it with Dean.
It's Verbeek.
Verbeek. Oh, big one. A ripper.
There's been a couple of big ones thrown.
The umpire out there doing something.
Drop punt. Newell, Morris and Vidovic. Vidovic takes it. 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining.
Well, there's a fair bit of pressure there coming from Ken Hickley.
Kicks high and long. Mainwaring tried for his second screamer of the afternoon. Couldn't grab it this time.
How the umpire, did he see that? He's got to have seen it. Surely, yes.
And the Brownlow favourite has gone.
No doubt about that at all.
Up towards Morris and Spalding. Morris goes reasonably well, but then falls over. Or was he helped?
Big men are at it again. Oh, Russell, there's some holding on.
That must have fainted.
From right centre wing. Passes in towards half forward. Strong mark. Hudson taken high.
Edwards brings it back into play. And Burton again will have it. He caught one there. Well, Laser's not happy, and he could be in trouble. Wow. Fisted away from Brownless by Brendan Gale, and eventually over. And Wayne Campbell showing a little bit of frustration.
Not quite. Oh, that's a punch to the head against Andrew Jarman. You'll nearly get reported. He will.
Toe post along the ground. Big shirt front from Sierakowski. And a nice little uppercut to Tony Francis.
Seymour kicks Sydney deep into the forward line. O'Brien had 2 to beat. Robbo's disgusted.
Oh, come on, Kevin. I'd love to see a replay of that. I mean, that is just absolute murder.
Chips it up towards a half forward. Koutafidis got one high. Decides to take them on. Try and do it on his own. Oh, Sam. Down goes your husband.
Oh, goodness me.
That might be something. It is something.
Essendon back with the first 4 goals. Monkey has put Moorcroft down.
We might get another chance here. Great use of the body. That'll be 50 anyway, you'd reckon.
Pushing back across the half-back line now. Yeah, a little bit high.
The cold solder away.
Oh! Garlick at midfield, wobbly kick. Grant, didn't give him a chance at all. Grant let one go.
Pearce at the back.
Oh! Now
That's after the siren. A slap across the face by Seacamp. And Chris Mitchell letting it go.
Gets a handball away. Johnson was in there, met heavily as we have a ball up. And there's a bit on here.
And it's on again, and Somerville has put Moncourse down.
Poor old monkey swung right into the fist of Peter Somerville. Back to Sandy and his Plays of the Month.
The Plays of the Month cameras follow the AFL circus Australia-wide in the pursuit of the offbeat and the bizarre. Like this April Fool from the Apple Isle, who not only made the Plays of the Month, but also started a whole new aerobics craze. Now come on girls, get in step. A Plays of the Month exclusive was the big fight between the Brisbane Little League and Rocky Balboa. To the second best coat hanger of April, and the big fish, Paul Salmon, was caught hook, line and sinker by the Essendon Banner. Not to be outdone, the Melbourne Banner knocked Darren Bennett right off his feet. Unfortunately, both cheer squads received 4 weeks. Footscray's Doug Hawkins received the luckiest free kick of April. Now watch the hawk very closely. Not so lucky was this dog, who couldn't remember where his bone was buried. No, gentlemen, it's not the New Zealand sheepdog trials. Talk about canine capers. One of the bumps of April was between North pair Darren Crocker and John McCarthy and the fence at the Wacker. Somehow I think the players came off worse for wear. McCarthy was soon in the action again, with this being one of the misses of the month. And pity poor Matthew Francis. Number 13, lucky for some, but unlucky for others. No, Richard Champion, I think your mouth's down a little lower. To the marks of April, and Demon rookie Darren Cuthbertson shows he has a bright future taking this beauty. While new Bulldog Phil Cracker dragged down this great one-hander at Football Park. Billy Brownless hovered high over Andrew Lockyer to bring in this mark just centimetres off the ground. And who could forget Warwick Kappa's effort over the hapless Michael Martin? Or his great attempt at trying to con a 50-metre penalty from the umpire. Ray Jenke wasn't too impressed by it all, but then again his teammate Gary Ayres tried to do the same thing with Tony Liberatore. And wasn't it different to see Brian Wilson playing the straight man to Tony Shaw? Tony, that was some performance. Evander Holyfield, eat your heart out. So, with the month of April behind us for another year and the football season in full swing, perhaps we should finish the Plays of the Month with a salute to a special group of supporters. Now, what's the old saying? The lifts are on, but I don't think they reach the top floor.
Hey, wait a minute, Sandy. We haven't finished yet. For years now, you've always given me a hard time. Well, now it's my turn to have some fun at your expense. Remember this?
Bairstow from 50 metres, set sail for home. A good-looking kick, and that looks like another one for Geelong. Yes, another behind.
Ha revenge can be so sweet, can't it, Willow?
Well, here we go again for another Plays of the Month, and as has been the case in previous years, May was an absolute ripper.
Yes, mate. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me now?
Excuse me, I said ripper, not dipper, but not to worry, let's continue. And weren't we relieved that we didn't see more of this would-be stripper? I did say stripper, didn't I?
I'm here tonight to show my colours and have a look at this, all right? There it is. There it is. Have a look at that.
Well, Dipper, have a look at this one. One of the all-time great grabs taken by football's only living saint, Gary Ablett. And while Ablett was breathless in the air, at ground level, he was awesome.
Brendan and Ablett, two of the greats of the game. Ablett over the top. Don't tell me Gary's kicked it. He's got it. Ablett's kicked his fourth.
And if the great man makes it look easy, then spare a thought for Robert Scott, who positively made it look difficult. Oh, well, Scotty, at least you got there. And as for John McCarthy, his Maradona-style goal would have brought the house down in a World Cup final. But it was a different story for Jason Dunstall. The normally reliable goal sneak just couldn't make contact. Well, there's no doubt about it, football is an emotional roller coaster. From the highs to the lows, supporters from all clubs love nothing more than blasting opposition players and venting their frustrations. But if there's one thing that bonds spectators together, then it has to be the felling of the men in white. And Johnny Barnes' poleaxing of Rowan Saws may not have earned him Brownlow votes, but it did unite fans from both clubs. To the bump of May and Paul Roo's hip and shoulder on Paul Rouvray was a beauty, while Paul Deere showed great courage in tackling the Magpies before the first bounce. And now to the steal of May, and this one's got Ronnie Biggs written all over it. It was enough to put the usually deadly accurate Nathan Buckley off his game. Bucks, I don't think that's what you had in mind. Ah, yes, don't try messing with the force. It gets you nowhere. Just ask the Black Bombers. But hang on, isn't that the game ball? Tony Shaw has always had a close association with the umpires, but Tony, this close? And to finish the plays of May, something a little different from Craig Kelly. This ball cleaning's catching.
Sandy Roberts will mark that one down. That's a play of the month.
Ah, Dan, you're too kind, so let me return the favour. We know how you feel about signs. This one's for you. Yes, the name of the game is Australian, but the name of this game is to try and avoid being featured in Plays of the Month. And one man who can't do that is Carlton's Dora, John Dorotich, who after booting the ball a massive 2 metres, desperately tried to make amends, only to be pinged for his blatant attempt at a scoop. Bad luck, Dora. But if he should hang his head in shame, so too should the Bomber cheer squad, because not only did they construct a banner that Superman would struggle to break through, they also somehow managed to misspell the name of their beloved team. The Bomb Rays. Perhaps they're thinking of relocating, maybe in Mexico? What do you think of that, hombres? Jared Healy catches up with some unusual characters during his boundary reports, but none more bizarre than our replacement for the comeback kid, Tim Watson. I guess that gives new meaning to the phrase skeleton start. To the misses of the season, and Steve Tingay somehow failed to register a score from point-blank range, while St forward Stuart Lowe, try as he might, just couldn't manage to get boot to ball. One of the clashes of April occurred when Lawrence Bingham and Gavin Brown met head-to-head. Fortunately, neither was seriously hurt. The same couldn't be said about Brown's teammate Glenn Sanford, who after colliding with the goalpost went down like a sheep with the staggers. But he wasn't alone. This boundary umpire had no chance of staying upright when he was skittled by the human bowling ball Matthew Dundas. But some things never change in football, like the Collingwood mascot, continually frightening the life out of little magpies. Mascots like that really should be sent to Don Scott's School of Charisma, if they can get in. But one incident that caught everyone by surprise was the clash between Tony McGuinness and his own trainer.
McGuinness moves for him. Amongst the trainers, one of his own. Get the stretcher this time. Oh! McGuinness gave him one. Can you be reported for that? I'm not sure. His own trainer frowns over the ball. I've never seen that before. It was a sharp left jab, unless I'm very much mistaken.
Well, watch this. Tony McGuinness bang. And if it had been the Richmond trainer, he would have got life.
And if you think football isn't about emotion, then check out Michael Martin and Peter Carey, who with this performance make it into Plays of the Month. There's only one thing better than dancing up a storm at Carrara or eating a meat pie on a cold winter's day, and that's watching the Plays of the Month, where you see only the best. But the best in this case wasn't quite good enough. Pity the poor ground staff who tried valiantly to chase down this tearaway terrier. I wonder if he was trying to hit the post. June was a month of milestones, with Tiger David Cloak notching up his 300th game, even if he had to struggle to get through the banner. For some it was just too much. Oh, don't worry dear, football can get quite emotional at times. To the goal that got away, and Tiger David Honeybun managed to put boot to ball, but the goal umpire signalled that it was touched off the boot. Wrong, and much to the dismay of David Honeybun. While Robert Di-Domenico tackled ex-teammate Terry Wallace in a rather friendly way. Gives new meaning to the phrase ripper dipper. However, the best tackle occurred off the field when a groundsman brought a would-be goal umpire's career to a very abrupt end. And then there was the story of the goal umpire who was continually bombarded by a group of peanut-throwing Blues supporters. Hey, but look out, fellas, here comes the boys in blue, and they're out to cashew. Oh, golly, who wrote this? June was a month for high flyers, and again St Kilda's Nicky Winmar thrilled us with this beauty. While during the WA Victoria State of Origin clash, Gary Ablett managed to pull down this screamer. And why not finish it off with a handstand? Beautiful, Gary. And no prizes for guessing who was the happiest man in Victoria after the Big V's win.
Stuck it right up them. That's what you did. You stuck it right up them.
If it's promising footballers the West Australians need, then perhaps the Sandgropers could look in their own backyard for recruits. Footscray pair Chris Grant and Tony Liberatore looked a tad embarrassed as they tried to untangle themselves. Maybe they were just practising for the end of the season three-legged race. Sydney's Bernard Toohey and Essendon's Paul Salmon provided one of the best bumps of June with a big fish coming off a little worse for wear. Anyone seen my legs? While in the commentary box, there was no one happier than former Carlton champ Ian Robertson when the Blues made their comeback charge against Geelong.
The left foot shot by Stephen Silvani. Woohoo!
And on the subject of commentators, here's Dennis Cometti beating the fans away with a stick. Oh, only joking, Dennis, but we couldn't leave you out of the plays of the month of June, could we? We begin our plays of the month with a little pre-game banter between Rod Carter and Jamie Morrissey. Hey, Jamie, come on, all I want to do is shake your hand. There you go. Now, let's get on with it. The most entertaining goal umpire of the month was this gentleman, who under enormous pressure still managed to perform a soft shoe shuffle. The best imitation of a gridiron quarterback, Geelong's Darren Flanagan, who rockets the ball 50 metres back to Mark Boss. The No Mean Feat award goes to St Kilda's Tony Evans. Now, who said Moorabbin was muddy? And these supporters will testify it's hard to beat a day out at the football. Damien Drum celebrated this goal in a most extraordinary way by disappearing into the crowd. Here, let's give you a hand, Damien. There you go. The Let's Kiss and Make Up award goes to Dermot Brereton and Bill Duckworth. Umpire Ross Castle soon found out that the MCG is where the big boys play when he was upended. But help was soon on the way after mouth-to-mouth from Brian Wilson. No Brownlow votes, Brian, but still a very nice gesture. The Persistence Award goes to Warwick Kappa, who tries once to score, twice, no luck, 3 times, still no luck, and finally kicks the post. Was that in disgust? July also saw Gary Ablett finally introduce himself to teammate Mark Bairstow. Collingwood's Brian Taylor also had an untidy meeting with teammate Doug Barwick. They say the man in white is always right. Not on this occasion, according to Hawthorn's Robert Di-Domenico. To the goal of the month, Michael Turner and Mark Zanotti battle it out in the race for the ball, pushing and shoving each other, but Turner shows his class. He out-battles Zanotti and puts through an inspirational goal for the Cats. The Leyland Brothers Award goes to Hawthorn. Now, can someone please show us the right way to go? The Do You See What I See award goes to Richmond's Peter Wilson, with just a little bit of help from Carlton's Justin Madden. Now, that's what I call cheeky. The Save of the Month goes to Carlton's Steve Silvani, whose great diving smother stops a certain goal. And while Silvani was great on the ground, he was brilliant in the air. This mark over Craig Starcevich was easily the mark of July. And finally, for the month of July, this ecstatic Swans fan obviously wanted to make the plays of the month. So to you, sir, please, take a bow.
Could the pointing of the bone be responsible for a mad month of mayhem? Yes, it's time for Plays of the Month. And one man who appears to be cursed is John Dorotich. Poor old Dora, for the second month in a row, grubbered one along the ground, while Tony Shaw received the blessing of May. Forgive me, umpire, for I have sinned. Well, I'm not sure if that's what Tony's saying, more like Paul. But Tony wasn't so saintly in this exchange with Adrian McAdam. However, Peter Sumich made sure that Phil Gilbert knew exactly what a football looked like and who had it. One man who did see plenty of leather in May was Crow High flyer Tony Modra, who took a couple of rippers, sure to figure in Mark of the Year. To the steel of May and Collingwood's Scott Russell pilfered the ball from big Justin Madden to kick a goal. Poor old Harry. Well, at least he had Alex Oshenko's comforting shoulder to cry on. But somehow I don't think that Damien Monkhorst was too sympathetic. He did to Madden what Riddick Bowe did to the boogeyman, Jesse Ferguson. Now, Harry, with that sort of acting, you're sure to get a call for a country practice.
That must have fainted.
That's enough of that, Gerard, or Bonehead may curse you. Bulldog skipper Doug Hawkins gave new meaning to the term hitting the post. But Dougie was none too happy with Platts demonstrating the latest hair care management with him. And I don't think that Tony Francis took too kindly to teammate Paul Williams' advice. To one of the clashes of May, and the shinboners Glenn Archer and Jose Romero met heavily. And was this the happiest supporter of May after watching Gary Ablett kick 37 goals in just 4 games? Ladies and gentlemen, the definition of joy. But surely no one in May was happier than Mrs. Jakovich. who witnessed a rare moment of affection between her two boys. I wonder if Glenn gets jack of this.
To full forward. Dorotic. I want to be a rocker star. Yes!
So Sandy wants to be a rock star? Can you imagine that?
Well, since my baby left me, I've found a new place to grow. Go down the end of Lonely Street to Heartbreak Hotel.
Sandy, take it from the voice of experience. With an act like that, you've got a long way to go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I hope to see you at one of my shows.
Calling Tony Antrobus. Tony, could we please begin the plays of the month with the most helpful spectator of April? Hey, Rod, if you want the ball, then why not go and get it yourself? West Coast Eagles' Guy McKenna decided that he would rather pass his boot instead of the ball to Troy Ugle. Now, which one of these is lost? Excuse me, Constable, but I think that your horse is over there. Richmond's Michael Mitchell displayed his unique, if not unusual, football talents in April, firstly with this excellent soccer header, and then by executing this extraordinary rugby flick pass. Potato farmer Danny Frawley spent most of the month demonstrating just how he plants his crops, while Melbourne's Brian Wilson once again demonstrated his remarkable acting talents. The most forgettable kick-out of the month belonged to John Manton. Oh, John, this error resulted in a free kick and a goal to Hawthorn's Jason Dunstall. April produced some great aerial work, as proved by St Kilda wizard Nicky Winmar. Hawk spearhead Jason Dunstall also pulled down a big grab, as did Tiger big man David Honeybun at the MCG. However, great marks weren't just taken by the players. Check out this chest mark taken at the Wacker by this spectator. Now that's how you do it, Shane. Not to be outdone, even the field umpire at the SCG got into the act. But Coach Cole Kinnear was not impressed and was quick to put the man in white in his place. Tiger Dale Waitman was on the wrong end of this shirt front, courtesy of Merv Neagle. While over at Fitzroy, they still haven't learnt who the opposition is. To the goal of the month, and Richmond's Peter Wilson receives the hand pass from Justin Pickering on centre wing and then takes 1, 2, 3... 4 bounces, crosses the 50-metre line and kicks a great team-lifting goal. And finally, we turn to the most unusual incident of April. It happened at Windy Hill when the field umpire was accidentally felled while trying to stop a melee. You know, it's amazing what some people will do just to make the plays of the month. Don't you agree, sir? Sir? So let's start with something completely different. Bungee jumping at Carrara. Let's all hope the Bears can bounce back like these brave souls have. Did I say brave? Silly me, perhaps I meant crazy. The recipient of the best shirt front of April was new cat Trevor Poole. Compliments of Anthony Danaher. While over at Tigerland, they're more than happy just to knock each other out. Poor old Carlton hasn't had a good year. And now Jez's three-quarter time address has been cut because he can't get out onto the ground. Well, he can. Eventually. One of the best tackles of April was laid on Footscray's Tony McGuinness by St Kilda speedster Dean Rice. And who said it was only the players who put their life on the line? But hang on, Darren Davies, they're your boys. And now 2 of the best marks of April. Magpie Doug Barwick comes from nowhere to take this ripper. And if that was a good one-hander, what about this one from Tiger Michael Mitchell? And on the subject of Michael Mitchell, who was the commentator who drew Mitchell's name out of the pre-game dinner sweep to score the first goal of the match?
Will it go through? You ripper! It's a goal! First blood to the Tigers!
Golly, Peter Landy sure was happy. And on the subject of 7 sports reporters, is it any wonder why our own Michael Roberts retired from football? Good one, Reggie. To some of the misses of April, and Demon Brett Lovett missed the ball. Saint Nathan Burke missed the mark, while Blues John Dorotic tried his best but still missed Michael Gaffer. Luckily for Greg Williams, David Rees-Jones missed him here, or should it be the other way round? Perhaps Rees was lucky. Unfortunately, something that didn't miss was Jimmy Cracker's boot and Scott Russell's head. Jacko showered us with tricks in his time, and now we know Dermy is far more than just a crack centre-half forward. And on the subject of Jacko, I wonder if Fitzroy's Darren Whelan has had a bet with him in recent times. Yes, that's what I call using your head, but then again, so is this, a la Carlton's Mill Hannah. While teammate Simon Minton Connell was on the wrong end of this Craig Kelly coat hanger. And on the subject of coat hangers, is Tim Watson asking for one here? Or maybe he's just saying, hey, have you seen my latest banana commercial? Well, Tim, I think this supporter has, and he likes it.
Let's have a look at what Derek Kickett can do with this.
Oh, by golly, my gosh, by G, Ian Robinson. What a great way to begin the Plays of May. Although I don't think that Jim Steins would agree because he was flattened by Andrew the Slam Dunkley. Mark Bairstow pulled off the con of May when he received a free kick after colliding with his teammate, Damien Burke. One of the many off-field highlights of May happened during the State of Origin clash at the MCG, when some budding aeronautical engineer launched his footy records special into the stratosphere.
Not a lot of breeze here tonight, but that's a wonderful glide.
Congratulations are in order to Alistair Lynch for taking the initiative to use a drop kick when shooting for goal, even though he was only 2 metres out. Those Lions are certainly playing with confidence. And commiserations to James Manson for kicking into Matty Larkin's back from point-blank range. Ah, James, it's enough to give you the Sheiks of the SCG had plenty to dance about at the premiere of Doug Hawkins' new career, the Phantom of the Western Oval. To the most unusual behind, and young Shane Watson decided to hit both goalposts. Sorry, Shane, but it counts as only 1 point. Even the Dennis Committee fan club was out in May. Yes, it was all happening. What about Justin Madden and Michael Long's attempts at volleyball? Or the launch of Bump and Ump Week, while Troy Ugle qualified for the final of the Policeman's Hurdle. Ah, yes, it's great to see the boys in blue show off their footy skills, especially when they enjoy themselves with a little kick to kick at the end of the day. However, it seems as though not everyone enjoys a post-game kick. I think that policeman may be required. And so while Jeremy Gard kicks up his heels and Peter Foster takes a dip into Lake Carrara with Troy Clark, I'll wind up the Plays of May with a poem honouring the great Aussie pie. Nothing is more elementary than eating a 4 and 20 on a wet Brisbane day on the 17th of May. Now, just a word of warning. Of course, you mustn't spill the sauce because it's hot and causes pain, while on clothes it may well stain. So remember, if you can keep the sauce off your wind cheater, you'll be a great Aussie pie eater. Thank you very much.
A little advice to our favourite pie eater. Don't wear yellow while eating a pie with sauce. Actually, stop eating pies would be a good tip as well.
They do things differently in the West. Join us for a training session with a difference. Blindfolds on and off we go. Can be a little uncomfortable, but it's perfect training for nights when the lights go out. And it all worked perfectly for the Eagles. If it wasn't David Wapunda going the wrong way.
He goes out to Braun, feeds it back. We're a punda.
He's gone the wrong way. Hey, he has gone the wrong way until they told him.
Ample time to make a correction, Doom. Don't panic. No, Seaby's got the football.
Then it was the chance.
He's in trouble. Judd will just accelerate out of trouble. Ooh. Going the wrong way, though.
Oh, he's kicked. Oh, did he know he was going the wrong way? He has gone 70 metres backwards. Well, he's full forward, he's playing at full back.
That training really paid dividends. And if the umpires don't turn up, Hawthorn have just the answer. Enter Roughhead Franklin and co, and they'll do the job for you. That haircut spider is a shocker. When it comes to umpiring, spare a thought for the men with the whistle. If they're not getting knocked from pillar to post, then they're putting up with acting performances like these. Peter Burgoyne, take a bow. Jason Ackerman's a shocker. Rowan Smith, are you kidding? And Brad Johnson, come on. They need to save their breath for moments like this little fiasco.
And, well, the men on the mark veered from the line in Zantuck. That'll be another kick, I reckon.
No, it's going to come back this way.
Yeah, because it's gone through for a behind.
It's a point.
So it will come back to Matthew Carr.
It was a point.
Kick. FAD, free kick.
Yeah, you take it there because it was a point.
He'll take it. It's got to come back to Matthew Carr.
It was a point. Ask him. Yep.
Yeah, he's offered the point, but he'll take another kick.
Yeah, to take the point. We'll have another shot at goal.
Go to the Freo bloke, umpire. You
He's asked Ty Zantuck.
Now, this is a bit of an embarrassment.
Oh, my goodness me. Oh, my goodness me. And Zantuck says we'll take the point.
That is magnificent. That is magnificent from Ty Zantuck. He has outthought the umpire here.
This is one of the more bizarre decisions you'll ever see.
What is going on
there? That is shocking.
He has gone to Ty Zantuck to ask him what he wanted.
And Ty Zantuck was smart enough
to say we'll take the point.
We'll take the point. Kevin Sheedy in his 225th year would be absolutely wrapped with it.
That is one of the more incredibly bad decisions you will see in football history.
And if Ty Zantuck pulled the wool over their eyes that time, he made up for it with the worst set shot of the year.
Big miss. That would be the worst approach to have a shot.
Collingwood's James Clement was just too smart for his own good. He takes the kick in and then rushes his own behind. Too smart by half.
They conceded another behind there with a mistake from the kicking.
Keep your eye on the ball? Yep, just keep your eye on the ball. For this group, they did just that. One after the other. Our cameras kept rolling. Well, that is until Mark Seavey arrived on the scene. There was a certain fascination with bottoms. While some wore undergarments, others clearly didn't. But football, it's all about scoring. Geelong's Steve Johnson provided the perfect reaction. Well, that was until we met these young fellas. Have you ever seen anything like it? We're not too sure what they were celebrating, but whatever it was, keep it up, fellas.
I reckon these Aboriginal kids just heard that Kevin Rudd was going to say sorry. And for me, I have to say sorry because that is all we have for you in this edition of Footy's Funniest Moments.